For a lot of people, self-doubt is killing their progress in the fitness journey. So let me explain why. So does this sound like you? So you realize that you've let yourself go a little bit, right? You've gained a little bit of body fat, your diet wasn't clean, you haven't been in the gym for a few months or a few years, and then you realize it and you want to take some action, which is great. So you start going to the gym a little bit more often, you try to make an effort to clean up your diet, you start doing more steps, more cardio, and all this stuff, right? Which is great. However, you see little to no progress. And when you see little to no progress, two things happen. One, you realize, okay, I'm doing something wrong. Let me watch some content. Let me learn some stuff. Or second, you just give up, right? A lot of people, they just give up after a week or two, right? Now, if you're someone who watches content and maybe apply 1-2 things from there, but again, progress is still the same. You see little progress or no progress again, and then you give up after that. Or maybe you repeat the whole thing. You know, you fail one time after applying some tips, you try again, fail again, try again, fail again, right? 2-3 times, you do that, but the end line is you always give up, right? Whatever happens, you just give up, right? Because if you didn't give up, you would be in shape now. You would not be watching this video, yeah? Now, you forget about fitness, you forget about your health, and you just, you know, carry on with your life, and then you realize again in a few months' time or a few years' time that, okay, maybe I gained a little bit more weight now, I need to make a change, and try again. However, this time, you are filled with self-doubt, because you've tried before, but you failed. How is it going to be different this time? And now you've adopted the identity of someone who is a failure. This is serious. People don't think about this yet. It's all up here in your mind. If you've got the identity of someone who's always fails, you're gonna fail, right? So you start self-sabotaging yourself, which means skipping workouts, your diet's not as clean, you have a little bit more junk than you should be eating. You're not that active, you're not doing your steps, you're skipping your cardio. Basically, you half-ass everything. And guess what? You don't see results because you're half-assing everything. You half-ass everything because you're sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging yourself because you've got the identity of someone who's a failure because you failed so many times before. See how all of this connects. A lot of your actions come from your mindset. That's it. Up here. Yeah? Now, how do we break this cycle? One simple thing that I want you to do. That's it. Take emotion out of it and think logical. Right? Just think of it like this, right? Think logical. Were there people in my situation and they got in shape? Yes. There are people who have lost 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 kilos. You can just search on Insta, search on YouTube, body transformations. You see loads of people in your same situation right now who have lost their body fat. Okay? You need to get to a point where you know for sure, okay, I will achieve that goal. I will get there. You just need to know that. And in order to know that, you just look at other people. If someone else can do it, you can do it too. All they do is breathe oxygen, just like yourself. Okay? Emotion is what causes you to self-sabotage. I feel like shit, I'm tired today, I'm not going to try. I feel like shit, I'm a bit upset, I'm going to order some food. Just because you're emotional. If you take the emotion out of it, you're like, okay, I feel like shit, but that doesn't mean I need to skip the gym. I feel like shit, that doesn't mean I need to eat shit. Right? And emotion is what also causes you to switch things every week or so. You try something for a week, oh, this hasn't worked. You're frustrated now. You're upset. You're pissed off. This hasn't worked. I'm going to switch something else. I'm going to do something else. Switch your training plan. Switch your meal plan. Try some stupid stuff like carnivore or keto. Or, I don't know, restricting yourself a lot with food. Just because that 1 week you got emotional, you didn't see progress, and then you change everything up, right? And then the cycle repeats because that stuff is not going to work out because you're going to give it another week, you get emotional, you don't see progress, and then you're going to try something else, and then you end up giving up, yeah? Maybe you were doing things well. You just had to give it a little bit more time. Maybe you were actually making progress, but you couldn't see it. Maybe you only had to make a small tweak instead of switching your whole strategy completely, yeah? Like, people know, right? Everyone I speak to, they know that it takes time to achieve a good transformation, but they still expect to see that transformation in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever that is. Then, okay, I speak to people that are like, yeah, so I know it's going to take me a long time, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, but they expect to see results in a week or 2 weeks. How does that make sense? The action step here, just one action step, is tracking data. Now, I'm not going to overwhelm you. I'm going to give you a habit tracker that's linked in the description of this video. It's completely free. It's 24 weeks for 6 months. Yeah. So I know it's boring. I know it's tedious. However, it's super simple to do, and it does not take a lot of work and time. Super fucking simple. Yeah. So these are the metrics I want you to track: your scale weight in the morning, your step count, the minutes of cardio you're doing per week, your total number of calories, and your overall well-being on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being lowest, 5 being the highest. Put a reminder on your phone, yeah, on your put an alarm, right, for like 7 o'clock, 8 p.m. at night, and just fill this data every single day. It takes 5 minutes tops. When you get used to it, it's going to take 2 or 3 minutes. Super simple. What is 5 minutes a day? What is it? Half an hour a week, is it? Yeah. You got half an hour to scroll on TikTok every single day. You can do this as well, right? And then what you're going to do, once a week, you're going to go through this data and have an average for your weight, okay? See how your weight moves. If it's going down by even half a kilogram, you're doing things right. Do not change anything. Keep doing what you're doing. People say, oh, it's only half a kilo. Yeah, that's in a week. Half a kilo in 6 months is 12 kilos. Half a kilo per week in 12 months is 24 kilos. A lot of people, if they lose 24 kilos, they'll be much healthier. They'll be happy. They would have achieved everything they wanted. Yeah. Now, if you stay the same weight, went up, your weight went up, or you dropped less than half a kilos, look where you can improve. So, can I do an extra 1 or 2 steps per day? Look at your steps. Be like, okay, I'm doing 5K. Can I do 6 or 7K per day? Look at the cardio you're doing. Maybe not doing any cardio. Okay, can I do an extra 20 minutes per week? Can I add, 5 minutes each session? That's 20 minutes a week, right? 30 minutes. Can I drop my food by 200, 300 calories a day and not feel like I'm starving myself? Simple stuff, yeah? Then all you want to do, again, if your weight is not dropping by at least half a kilo, you want to change one metric. So maybe it's just increased steps, maybe it's only increased cardio, maybe it's just drop food a little bit. Just one. Change the metric, and then reassess the progress the week after. That's it. Then the next week, do the same thing again. Okay, I made this tweak on this week here. Has it worked out? Have I lost weight? If you have, cool. Keep doing what you're doing. If it hasn't, okay. Can I change the metric a little bit more, or can I change something else? That's it. Rinse, repeat. Rinse and repeat. Yeah? There will come a point where you will not have to change one single thing per 4 weeks. Like, you find what works for you, and you can do that for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and you will keep dropping weight every single week. And then once you plateau, reassess again. Simple stuff, guys. Yeah? Like, this is what I did to go from here to here. This was about 10 kilos that I lost in 3 months. Simple stuff. These are some of the clients. Pardeep, 20 kilos down. Matt, 10 kilos down. Vic, 10 kilos down. Actually 11 now. Hardeep, 11 kilos down. Maninda, 5 kilos down. This is what we do, guys. We don't switch things entirely, yeah? I'll link the habit tracker in the description. Super simple to use. I'm not gonna go over it because it's actually super, super simple. I know you're smart enough to do it, but that is it, yeah? Any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or on my Instagram. Take care.